I'm Dan, and this is Dan Explains. It's no secret that even 5 years ago, Elon Musk was the darling of the left. He ran, and still does, Tesla, the largest green technology company in the world. That makes everything from electric cars to solar installations and grid storage batteries to make the other green technologies even more viable. He would often talk about how we would need to adopt these technologies to stop climate change. Well, things have changed, however. Changed a lot. Has the left moved further left and abandoned him, like Elon claims? Or is it Elon who's moved to the right? Let me explain. The left has been attacking Elon Musk on a lot of different fronts, especially since Elon Musk endorsed Trump for president, which was a pretty bold move on his part. It also seems like it was the final straw for the left, who used to view Elon as a centrist or even a progressive. For his part, Elon Musk claims his views haven't changed. To go from someone who at least implied he voted for Biden in the 2020 election to openly endorsing Trump in 2024, and then even going so far as to appear on stage with Trump at a campaign rally, seems like a pretty big shift. So what happened? First of all, the shift may not be that big at all. It's very common for many people who call themselves centrists, like Elon, to not have an issue with switching from supporting one party to supporting another, based on even just one issue. Now, the left has been moving further and further left over the years. That is pretty much undeniable. I mean, let's look at the definition of the word progressive, which is often used to describe the left-leaning party. It literally means to change. And if you look at the policies of Democrats 20 years ago versus today, the Democrats of 20 years ago would at least seem like centrists, if not conservative by today's standards. For a long time, centrists have been able to get by ignoring the so-called extreme voices from either side of the two parties, assuming the candidates who would win would be moderate centrists themselves. However, in recent decades, conservatives have also been more and more resistant to following the left leftward, lagging behind by even more than a few decades, like they've always been. So the ideological gap between the left and the right has been growing. This creates a more polar political environment, where the candidates the parties select end up having extreme views, even for centrists. So whatever party is able to get the largest portion of their base to vote wins, because people are less likely to switch parties to vote for a candidate they see as extreme. This puts centrists between a rock and a hard place. The ones who prefer to ignore the extremes of the two parties just avoid voting and hope for better candidates to crop up in the next election. Or they're forced to vote for one or the other in spite of the policies they might disagree with. So, does this mean that Elon is just holding his nose to vote for Trump because he's abandoned by the left, as he put it? I think there's more to it than that. Like I mentioned, centrists often get by not making decisions about certain policies. Elon did a good job of ignoring them for a long time, until you know what rolled around. All of a sudden, the policies of the left were making it extremely hard for his businesses to do business, due to lockdowns and other restrictions. On top of that, anyone who didn't agree with the measures would often get an irrational spittle-laced tirade. Worse, some people who disagreed were getting cancelled, and sometimes even imprisoned. I think this made Elon start to think about certain things he took for granted, like freedom of speech. Because of the left's aggressive and vitriolic behavior, which was especially targeted at him, he naturally started to form a view of free speech that was far to the right of what the left wanted, or even many centrists. For Elon, the last straw was Twitter's ban of the Babylon Bee, a conservative satirical news site he enjoyed reading, for calling someone who was a biological man, well, what he was. In response, he decided to buy Twitter to create an island on the internet where free speech still existed as he understood it. This, of course, made the left even more angry than they already were. Also, Elon perceived there was a sudden shift in how the regulatory agencies were handling his companies. An example would be SpaceX's loss of a large government grant to improve rural internet via Starlink. Although Starlink has been a huge success anyway. He even lost a gigantic pay package due to an activist shareholder that sued him. A pay package that was approved by Tesla shareholders back in 2018 on the contingency that he managed to pull off what was essentially a miracle. Which he managed to do. So this has forced Elon to form his opinions in an absence of more progressive ideas. Although he seems to have held on to most of the progressive beliefs he held before this happened, since he kept promoting the same agendas he's always had. before any of the new, more conservative agendas he has taken on now. So, it's not just that the left has moved further to the left. Elon is more right than he was. But it's not because he changed any of his opinions. It's because he formed conservative opinions based on things he used to take for granted. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, and other topics ranging from theology to science, please press the like button. Subscribe to my channel and ding the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Also, please support me on Patreon to get extra content and special perks. Link in the description. The more people support me, the more time I can dedicate to making videos like this one. So, until next time, have a great week.